Good morning, everybody. Today on the farm, we are going to be fertilizing over 36 million individual corn plants. That's 7 fields at 160 acres per field, and we planted them at 32,500 corn plants per acre. Each corn plant is going to get roughly 1/1000th of a gallon of fertilizer. And all of this is going to be happening with this machine right back here. Let's get started. Good morning, everybody. We are back in the tractor cab. It's only been about, I don't know what, Grant, 3 weeks since we finished planting, but we are already back in the saddle, back in the cab of the John Deere.
We can see where we messed up everything.
Enough time has passed that all of the seeds that we planted a couple weeks ago are sprouted. We've gotten a lot of rain and a ton of sunshine, so they're very green. It's beautiful. But Grant is so right. You can see exactly where we messed up.
Every little mistake is going to haunt us.
I thought planting went so well, and from the cab, it did. But we're having big problems with our guess rows, and we're seeing that especially because we were trying to drag something down the middle of the row, and the guess row is the two spots where like you make a pass here, and then the pass where those two passes can join. You know what I'm saying? You following? You tracking?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
You know what didn't track? The planter. It did not track. We either have a really small guess row, very small margin for error, or we have an enormous guess row, and where we're trying to drag behind us is just running over corn. What are we trying to drag behind us? Let's see. What you see behind us is our liquid fertilizer machine. This is a 24-row, 60-foot bar we're dragging behind here. And this is an 1,800-gallon tank. And what we are doing is we are fertilizing our corn. So there's a little coulter on every row, and it's just making a little divot, and then the roots will grow out and then reach that fertilizer, and it will shoot up. We are putting on 38.5 gallons per acre. And let's just say, for example, one field is 160 acres, and I will let you do the math on that. How many times we will need to fill up.
This field is actually 200 acres.
We've got a lot of fertilizing to do. Even with all this modern technology, you still have to count rows, huh?
Still gotta count them.
AI hasn't taken over yet.
No.
I cannot believe how sharp they're able to turn, and the machine won't run into the tire. I mean, that's just crazy. All right, how do you run this thing? Remembering that this is historically not my favorite tractor to drive, even though it is the newest tractor on our farm. I like the older ones better. I'll say it. I don't know, maybe that's a bad thing to say, but this one is just a little too new. I just haven't figured out the nuances of it yet. So I'm hoping with this task here, this fertilizing, that I learn how to operate it better. Making my turn, finding my auto steer line here. So I'm lining up, and I'm just gonna throttle up just a tiny little bit. Oh, and this guess row is huge. That's bad. I'm going to set my machine down, start my fertilizer with my little foot switch, and throttle up. And my gauge says I'm going, and this says I'm going. And now I'm looking right down the center of the tractor at my huge guess row. It is not pretty. I realize that you might not be able to tell a huge difference, but that, like, the 6 inches makes all of the difference in the world. It's just a little too wide. And so I have to come over here in my auto steer, and I'm just gonna make tiny little shifts, and I'm just trying to get it so that I'm not running over any corn. 2 inches can make a really big difference. I want those coulters behind me to just be going straight down the row, right between each row of corn. Oh, hey, neighbor. Howdy. Give me a big old wave. It is officially four-wheeler season. That's how you know it's summer. You know it's summer when you are cleaning out grain bins, when you are applying fertilizer like we're doing right now, and when you start to see neighbors driving around on four-wheelers checking crops, that is sure signs that it's summer. We're coming to the edge of the field, so I'm just going to throttle down here. I'm going to turn off, pick up, drive straight forward a little bit more, then make a really sharp turn here. Careful that my machine doesn't go on the road. I'm trying not to run over any corn here. I've been trying to watch more YouTube, you know, in all of my...
Hold on.
Are we good back there? Is it still attached?
We're good. That's why we gotta close our pivot tracks. Pivot tracks.
Grant and I have a lot of experience farming big fields like this, but something I've been loving lately is watching small acreage channels and like gardening channels. There is so much to learn from them. So I'd be really curious to know if you could just comment, what are some other channels that you really, really like to watch? I'd love to check them out. We have this really handy little picture readout on our screen here, and I fear that we are getting low on fertilizer. That's why I'm very grateful to have this electronic readout right here.
I hate to tell you, but that's off by like 100 gallons, so we're gonna be out sooner than that thing even says.
Oh, I need to shift over.
Don't run, you're running on my corn. I worked really hard at planting. I think you actually planted this, didn't you?
I definitely planted this. Did you see him just try to take credit for this field? This is actually the field that after that huge rain, we had all that flash flooding. We were driving around looking at crops, and we're driving to a field, and Grant looks over at this field that we're in right now, and he goes, "Man, I'm just glad that field's not planted yet. That looks horrible," because it washed out so bad. And I looked at him and I said, "Do you mean the field that I just planted yesterday?" And he's like, "You're kidding me." So yeah, I definitely
we have
planted
lost
this
track
field.
of this field. So yes, Laura did plant it, and she ran over her own corn.
Okay, that is all she wrote. We're not out, but we are very, very close to being out, especially now that I know that this gauge is not exactly accurate to the gallon. And we're at this end of the field, and this is the end of the field where our bulk fertilizer storage is. There's these really cool tanks that you can just drive wherever you want, and then you just park them when they're empty, and the cart comes out and fills them up for us. But the people that are supposed to come out and fill them up haven't exactly been here yet, and that is okay because they've got a lot of other jobs to get to, but it means that we can't really do anything else here until they do. So now it's a little bit of a waiting game. So while we're waiting, I'm going to show you how we're going to fold this out because it's actually pretty cool. We don't really use the things over here. We have a special box that we do it with. So I'm going to engage hydraulic number 2. Now we come over here. Watch carefully. Flip this up. This is going to fold our wings up. We're like a little bug. Now we are going to go this one. We're going to unlatch. See those little bars that came up? Now fold back. Now we are officially in transport mode. On to the road we go. Just have to remember that I'm pulling a trailer, so nice wide turns out of driveways here. It's like driving a semi-truck. This is not a very nice driveway.
Over the years, as equipment has gotten bigger, we've had to widen out most of our driveways, and some of them haven't exactly gotten widened yet.
That was definitely a skinny one. Let's not use that one in the future. Would not recommend. We made it on the road though, and that's what matters. And we didn't tip anything over. It's a good thing that our trailer is almost empty and not full.
For the past 3 years, we've had I'll call it a drought. It's been pretty dry, but this year we've gotten so much rain, The grass in the ditches is so pretty.
It is absolutely beautiful. Would you believe me if I told you that there was another chance of rain for tomorrow night? And we have...
A lot of acres to cover.
I was trying to do some math in my head. We definitely have more than 2 days worth of fertilizing to do. That is for sure. Put my hair up, and I've got these gloves because I do not want this fertilizer to get on my hands. Oh, it's just tight, but that's okay. Now I just have to fill it all the way up. We are ready to go. We're definitely still dealing with effects from that huge flash flood that we had come through here. In this draw, you can see this is where all of our corn stalks washed to, and very clearly some of our seeds either drowned out or washed away, which is really sad. But the corn in this draw here looks way worse than all the rest of the field. Luckily, it's not the whole field, it's just this draw, so I think we'll survive. Check out these beautiful pivot tires that Titan Goodyear shoed our pivot with. Looking pretty good. Now we just need it to stop raining so we can actually use this pivot.
Yeah, I think Scott was good luck. Because as soon as we put those on, it started raining, and we haven't had to use the pivot. So thanks, Scott. Appreciate it.
We are in a John Deere 340 R Series tractor. If you know anything about us, it's that we love our R Series tractors. Right now we're doing a little trade-a-roo. So Grant and I, the tractor that we bought together last year, the one that we own, his dad is using right now for his own project.
8335.
Yes. And so we are using his tractor in exchange. It's just kind of a little, it all evens out in the end. We are going on the other side of this pivot here so we can fertilize everything under it, and then I can have Gage go and move it for me while I continue here in the tractor. One of my favorite parts of when the corn is this size is driving by and looking down the rows. I just feel like it's so satisfying. That is a bad guess row right there. Don't look at that. So today, like I said, we're kind of doing this little tractor trade thing, and being in the cab of kind of a different tractor, it's got me thinking. We've tried out a lot of different tractors on this channel, specifically John Deere ones, but we've dabbled in Case, in Fendt, all those other kind of brands. But you know what we really haven't done? We haven't tested out a 2-track tractor. Is that something you guys would be interested in seeing? If so, comment below and let me know. I wish you guys could be here with me now and smell what I'm smelling. You can faintly get whiffs of like the soil that's been turned with the coulters on the fertilizer bar. The birds are chirping. The corn is starting to smell like corn. Oh, it is just so nice. I love summer. The fertilizer machine needs to be greased every single day before we go out to the field. And usually that's not too bad of a job. I don't mind greasing things. We have a really nice battery-powered Milwaukee grease gun. However, this grease gun is down for the count. It is not working right now. That means we are going to be greasing all 60 feet of that bar the old school way using a hand pump grease gun. It's a good thing I've been hitting the gym. We're about to become best friends.
This thing needs lots of grease. Fertilizer is very corrosive and it gets everywhere.
As you can see, everything on this moves. They are able to move around freely, hence the need for a lot of grease. We're gonna be tag teaming this thing. Gage is gonna start at one end, I'm gonna start at the other, and I guess we'll see how this goes. Wish us luck.
We're gonna have a cartridge changing race when you guys are out of grease.
Okay.
Sounds
I've done it
good.
a lot, so. Flip the little tablets, we'll get more out of it.
I think my money might be on Gage for the cartridge race.
Why?
What? You
Yeah.
think Gage?
I don't know.
Where's the confidence in your wife?
He's greased a lot of stuff for me.
I've greased a lot.
You don't think I've greased a lot of things?
You have, but
Come on, be on my side.
well, you just have to prove it to me.
Oh my goodness. Oh, this is gonna be slow going. Oh.
You know it's tight when it's coming out of the.
Oh my goodness.
So Laura's got 3 rows done. Let's go see how many Gage has done. Oh, he's almost doubled you, Laura. He's got 6 done. He's moving on to his 7.
Grease points. Daily.
Got to keep those grease worms fed.
Oh. I think
Is
we're
that
at
grease?
the end. Nothing. Gage, how you doing on grease?
Ready?
Yep.
Go. Oh, Gage fumbles it. Oh, look at that. The extraction.
Where the...
Oh. Oh, no.
Man. Oh, this is looking bad for me.
Gage is so in the win. Gage is winning. Come on, Laura, you can do it.
Gage totally got
There it
me.
is. There it
No, that's
is.
old grease.
Oh, Gage got me. I looked like a fool.
You guys both fumbled it several times.
My hands are kind of slippery.
I was gonna say, yeah, look at that.
Well, I'm glad I'm the cameraman today.
Got it.
Here you go, it's your turn now.
Yeah,
right,
I didn't know.
Yeah.
You wanna go grease?
I'm still filming.
Oh my god.
Not bad. That was speedy.
That was by far under a minute.
Like the tube, like rocketed it out. That was kind of cool. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. Everybody's always talking about John Deere green this, John Deere growing that. But I think the color that they really overlook is John Deere yellow. Everyone's always asking me about green nails, but look at this. Isn't that pretty? I like to try and match the tractor in some little way.
You left your dirty fingerprints on this thing.
Oh, just ignore that.
This thing has gotten very muddy. With all the rain we've been getting, there's so much mud packed in between the wheels. Look at that.
This fertilizing job is taking us a few more days longer than I was expecting. And that is because over the weekend, we got an 1.30 inch of rain, and it came in kind of a fast, windy storm. And I took some clips because it was kind of pretty and I thought you guys would enjoy it. So here that is.
family-owned, Nebraska-based company comprised of 7 diverse brands. Chief, trusted, tested, true.
But for now, this tractor and the fertilizer bar is all greased, done, and ready to get back out into the field. So let's go. Look, guys, I found a buddy. It's a little snapping turtle.
I've actually never seen a snapping turtle this small. Usually when we see them, they're like this big. They're huge.
One time my mom caught a snapping turtle for me. She was so brave.
On another note, look at all these weeds. So we're down on the bottom here. The snapping turtle was in the puddle over there. And so all the weeds, seeds from the ditches, wherever, flow in here, and then they come up. These are palmers that are really hard to kill with spray.
These are the bane of our existence right here.
Yep.
They look unassuming right now, but I tell you, they grow up and they are
They'll be
nasty.
as big as a corn plant.
This is the bottom, that draw that all the water was running through earlier this year. Boy, I will say, tractor sure does look nice out here. It's evenings like these that I understand why John Deere made their tractors green and yellow. Fits the scenery perfectly. All right, have a nice life, little buddy. Nice to see ya. I talked about these tip tanks actually being a trailer plus infield storage for our fertilizer. I wanted to show you how we pack this thing up and move it down the road to a different field. This field has been fertilized, the tanks are empty, and it's time to move to the next field. Tanks are unhooked from the Ranger. They are ready to be filled by the co-op. And then this field can be fertilized. Thank you so much for being my YouTube family and watching my journey on the farm here in Nebraska. I love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful day and we will see you in the next one. Bye.